Okay, so this is kind of funny. Since I've been here visiting my family, now maybe I shouldn't say it, but you know what? Screw it. I have been relaxing in these Walmart parking lots. Now, when I was traveling doing van dwelling, sometimes I would stay the night in a Walmart parking lot, but actually not very many times. Usually I would hang out because, people are coming and going. There's a lot of activity. You really don't want to, you can't be concerned anyway, but you kind of felt like there were people around if something, were to happen. So anyway, and so since I've been here, I've been hanging out in the Walmart parking lots, and I noticed something, and maybe it's not as consistent as I think it is, but this particular one, like the one that I'm usually hanging at, they have nature. It's like they built it here. Maybe it was, I think when I was growing up, it was a field. I know it was a field. And so they have an area left where it's just nature. I'll show you. Okay, maybe a lot of nature, but there's trees and grass, right? And I can't say I've never sat here before, but I never made videos here before, that's for sure. So yeah, this is one of those days, and I'm starting kind of late. I had a plan that didn't work, and then I realized later it was actually me that wasn't working properly. But so I went off on a different course in my day, and I ended up hanging out with some relatives for a while, and now we just kind of got back, and so I'm like hours late from what I had planned to be. But you know what? Like Ralph Smart would say, it's all right. It's all right. Things happen, no big deal. Everybody's still alive. Things came together kind of interestingly. Okay, he had to get that out of his system. So I ended up, now this is something that totally was not planned, but I ended up riding around in the area where my parents grew up. And they could not believe that I'd never been there before. And I can't believe that I was growing up, that I was really so selfish as not to remember this. But I think it was just that when I was growing up, and I honestly don't have a lot of memories from being a child, like a baby or a toddler, just like little bitty instances in life. When my dog had been killed, and I remember, meeting my dad at the end of the driveway every day. That was when I was like a toddler. But from there to the dog, I don't remember anything else. I mean, there's a couple of incidences. And I know we're not supposed to remember every little detail, but things like where your parents grew up, you would think I would remember that. I mean, maybe they mentioned it, but in a way, as I mentioned to them, you think about this, right? You're a child, you grow up, you live your life, every day is school or hanging out with your friends or whatever. And in our case, when I was at the age of friends, like 6 to 16, I guess, we were, what I remember, we had school, we had homework, we went to bed. I mean, it's not a lot going on. When we were a little older, I did a lot of sports activities, like going to games for 3 or 4 years. We go to games, we have practice for different things. I did pep squad, I was involved with the drill team and track and all these things. And so you're just busy doing things. And so when I got to be a little older, I just totally went off and did my own thing for a while. And then I did work all those years. I worked since I was 16. So then I had work, and tried doing a little dating in between, had a kid, all the stuff that doesn't really give you time to go and see where your parents grew up, right? That's just life as it was. And so at the time that we were doing this little tour today, I really wasn't thinking that much about it. I was like, interesting that I didn't know that, or that I hadn't considered that. And so now I'm just sitting here, because I was with them, and, like I said, now I'm just like here by myself, and I can kind of consider things. And, I guess I kind of knew that they grew up in a different area, but it wasn't something I ever thought about. As I mentioned to them, I really have done a lot of always going forward. I learned at some point in life it's best to go forward. And so that is the way that I've learned to do things. Not too much going back. You have fun incidences, I mention them because they're fun, and, they're going to be in my book because I try to remember things for the book. But to actually consider and think about the past, I don't do that because I don't find it helpful. There was like 3 or 4 years ago where I read this book by a guy, and he was talking about being in the now. And I thought, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. And so that's what I did. And believe me, it's not easy to be in the now, but it's only not easy because we haven't practiced it. And so a lot of the times in the last few years, my goal is to be here now. So maybe the reason I don't remember it is because all of the being in the now, it's kind of maybe shown me that it's not really necessary to go back there. If you're physically there and you want to see it, that's fine. But mentally, it's definitely not where I want to have my focus. Again, it's not good, it's not bad, but I'm just thinking as I'm saying this now, that is more than likely why I didn't remember it. It wasn't on my radar, my awareness. That's what, that's really what it's about, is that it was not in my awareness, And so, spending time with them, I won't say everything that I'm thinking about all of that, but it is definitely an education. Always good to be learning. So yeah, I just wanted to share that, sitting out here today. This is again for my van dwelling friends. This is how it is today. Say hi to Blueberry. Oh, wait a minute. She's not Blueberry anymore. The van is christened Baroness today. I started earlier calling her the Baroness. Yes, we're doing our reconfiguration of the mind. And the mind used to be Blueberry, and today she's the Baroness. Yes. Anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, write in the comments, what the are you talking about? She's one thing or she's another. She's converting to the Baroness. Yes, she is. And I have a song. Okay, so far the song, I know I'm all over the place. So far the song, the words that we will always keep, it goes like this. The Baroness, so sleek. Okay, so that's going to be my, what is the thing that you repeat? The other words are in flux. Okay, again, if you don't know what this is all about, write it in the comments and I can explain. All right, I'm going to do a different video about a whole different topic. Everybody, have some awesomeness in your day. If you smile, I promise you, it will change your life.